Greetings, one and all, to the most cursed, most cringiest corner of the internet. A YouTube channel content creator actively alienating everyone in both the analog and digital world. But welcome and good evening, wonderful dice of all alignments. I am Lunar D8. What? What do you mean, correct cup? What is... Okay. What's this? Oh, neat. Picture it. It's my first semester in college. I can go anywhere in the country, but...
I thought to myself, why not get the band back together?
What band exactly?
Naturally, everyone followed my lead and registered for Tokyo U.
Followed your lead. You stalked Toma and followed us.
And Tokyo U is where I said we should all apply. So, if anyone's the leader, it's me.
Don't I get any credit for reconnecting this long-lost friend group?
Nope.
If you mean using your parents' money to track Toma down and then forcing him to be your roommate, then sure. Credit where credit's due.
Thank you, Kichiro.
That wasn't...
Just let him have this one.
You guys aren't seriously staying here, are you? We seriously are. Where else would we stay? This place is 6 rooms. I'm excited to see my old friends, but my brother knew this was a trip for me and Suki. This is all so sudden. I am still adjusting to everything. Lunar, come on. Let's be gracious hosts. Speaking of rooms, the only 2 left are all set for you and Suki. Way to rain on my parade, Toma.
Hey, don't look so down. Let's make this a fun trip with old friends. And don't worry, I'll make sure Toma doesn't spend the whole time raining on your parade.
Good, because I had a really great parade planned too. We have lots of floats.
If you two keep speaking in metaphors, you won't be able to follow.
Kichiro, you're always looking out for me. Was your parade rained out too, Kichiro?
I glance over Suki and Toma. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. No curfew, lots of parties. Yeah, you have to show me around sometime. Invite me to the next party. He'd have to be invited to one first. For your information, I get invited to plenty. Come on, Suki, I'll show you around to our rooms. Okay, let's catch up later, Toma. Later. Whatever, I thought my final winter break before college was going to be like... is out the window, thanks to my idiot brother. At least he left me my favorite room. I unpack my journal. I'll write about the new memories I make here. Next, I unpack the new messenger I got for Christmas. It's going to come in handy after all. Suki and I can leave each other messages in case we decide to do different things for the day. Well, I guess anyone can leave me messages now. Come in.
Hey, I know we got off to a rocky start back there, but I'm happy to see you again.
I was surprised, but me too.
I hope we can hang out while we're here.
Of course, naturally. I want us all to hang out.
Right. Well, try to get some rest. Have a good night.
Apparently I'm really bad at navigating the menu in this game. Thanks, Ren. A little while later. Yo!
Hey! Were you totally surprised to see me back there? I must look so different. The highlights, the piercings.
Yes, yo, your transformation might be the biggest one of all of them.
Nice.
Hmm.
Nothing. Well, I can tell you all about it tomorrow. Should we hang?
Of course, naturally, I want all of us to hang out.
Oh, for sure.
I'm really bad at...
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Sleep tight.
Okay, night you. It's getting late. Kiichiro.
Hey. You seemed upset back there.
Noticed?
Anyone with eyes would notice.
Oh.
I guess if you want to, we can hang out tomorrow.
Of course, natural when all this thing up.
Great, so Yo will be there.
He's our friend, so yeah.
Use that term loosely. Okay, good night.
Obviously, I get the idea that the game is trying to go. It's a dating simulator. It's a dating sim. You know what? This kind of reminds me of something. I remember being... I think I was 15 years old. Maybe 14. So quite a few years ago. I think I was either 14 or 15 years old. I remember... Have you guys ever heard of a website called newgrounds.com? It was an old website. If it still exists, it probably is radically different than what it was back then. I think the best part about it is it had something called Audio Portal. People could make their own music and submit it. And a lot of times it was just a lot of very trance music. That's the best way I can put it. Like, it was just music. Some of it had a lot of bass. It was like dubstep before dubstep was a thing, but also more of a classical music sort of thing. Granted, it had music of all genres. But I think that the best part about it was the audio portal, just because there was just so much good music. And you just put it on the background while you read something. But it was also back during the time of something called Flash. It's a type of animation software. I can't say I really know anything about how it works. But it was interesting. Especially the way technology, video games, gaming consoles, everything changed over the years. Heck, the existence of computers and internet, phones. Heck, I remember a time when cell phones didn't even exist. I remember when payphones were everywhere. At this point, though, I really feel like the PlayStation 6 will probably have an AI built into it. It's just... things are definitely advancing really quick. It's funny. Not even the internet right now, but if you talked about the internet back when I was 14 and 15, even what existed back then, and to the people in the 80s, they would have called you crazy. I'm getting off topic. Aside from Flash animation, Flash games being what they were, there were a lot of suggestive games, many of which would probably be considered too lewd for Steam. That being said, this one particular one I'm thinking about right now, I don't think it was particularly lewd. I can't really remember. But I remember it being like there were a lot of dating sims on Newgrounds. I remember there being one set in the world of Evangelion. You know, Asuka, Rei, Misato, Kaoru, all those. And Evangelion was still a very new, or fairly recent anime. I think it was about a decade old at that point. Heck, I think Evangelion is now like 30 years old as an anime. But the point I'm saying is that there was a dating sim game based off of Evangelion. Heck, I think there were several. That was kind of odd trying to manage the time of everything in the games. And of course, there's lots of games that did that. It was a pretty common, game idea. It almost gives you the impression that most of the people that were on a site called Newgrounds back in the early 2000s perhaps didn't have relationships or much luck with dating. I can't say that for certain what's the situation everyone else on Newgrounds was, but I can certainly say that applies to me. Heck, I've played quite a few dating games since then. You guys ever hear of Date Alive? I remember, I think I platinumed that on the PS4. There's also a game called Song of Memories, which starts off as a dating sim, but then becomes a sort of post-apocalyptic virus pandemic with government lockdowns. It actually came out in 2017, so about 3 years before COVID. So, interesting. Also, at that time, I don't think VTubers existed yet. But the way the models were displayed in the game is reminiscent of the very earliest models that VTubers would use. Now, right here, technically, what you're seeing here, this is much lower in quality than that. This is, some would call this a 2D sprite, others would call this a PNG model. I think this works perfect for the type of game we're currently playing. The main thing I'm trying to say is that most VTuber models, or what was in the game Song of Memories, is much more advanced and emotive than this. But in general, even a flat 2D model sprite PNG, that's one cool thing about anime. It can be very expressive with any range of emotion. At the end of the day, I made a video once saying, happy, it's jolly, it's good. I'll put a link to it in the description. And the idea is that this anime isn't a genre. It's a medium. It's like saying movies. Movies isn't a genre, it's a medium. Books aren't a genre, they're a medium. Same way anime, or even games, they're just a type of book. Genre is what the book's about, whether it's horror, comedy, even ecchi. Everyone's like, what's that word? If you don't know that word, then you are new to anime. It's stuff that's lightly lewd and some fan service, but not outright hentai. Though, of course, lots of words change in meaning and usage over time. Heck, you hear these people saying, like, gooner this, gooner that all the time, but technically, gooner doesn't mean... Now it just applies to any time you see a character and you're like, oh, that person's cute, that person's attractive. You're just acknowledging someone's attractive or you find something pleasing. That's not what that word means. The original definition of gooner is someone who, like, masturbates in front of others. Heck, a coomer isn't somebody who, like, jerks off occasionally. A coomer, which is a C instead of a G, would be somebody who is, addicted to that stuff and is, like, doing it all the time and can't function in society. Heck, I remember there being a book when I was a child, Little Bunny Foo-Foo. And the end of the book, the rabbit gets transformed into a goon or a gooner. But at that time, the word gooner as it is nowadays didn't even exist. No one even thought up the idea. So it's saying there's lots of words that didn't exist or that they did exist in the past and they just don't really get used in that way. Heck, you guys ever watch the Skyrim video, the brain rot intro? Or the one video the dude's like, I have a brain rot girlfriend. I'll try to put all three of those things in the description. The brain rot Skyrim, the brain rot... I'll probably have a VTuber reaction to it. And the brain rot girlfriend thing, but the top thing will be my thing of anime. It's just, anime is a medium. And it's just, there's things of different genres. Like, I know where we're going in this. Like, obviously, I'm supposed to be more positive towards certain characters. I mean, obviously, the idea being is that if we were realistically living this, it'd be us expressing our desires in terms of what we want to do, whether it's want to generally hang out with just everybody and be platonic everyone, or express an interest toward one person more than others. But I would say a lot of times there's a lot of fun in trying to 100% certain games. What's a game that's coming out that you guys are actually looking forward to? The music in the background of this. It reminds me of a few other games. In particular, it reminds me of an anime. Shiki? So that's more things I should put in the... So that'd be like 6 links in the description. At some point I need to finish the Higurashi AMV. I mean it's a Higurashi games. At some point Union Rhythm Psychosis come out. I'll call that playlist Brain Rot, Denpa Brain Rot. At some point, like I think Clatonia, I think part 5 or 6. I think I already had 5. I think Clatonia part 6. I'll sing the song Verut by Icebreaker with a picture of a Lumi, Zoldyck from Hunter x Hunter, and the next one will be Yoichi to the song Nacht Fever by Icebreaker. I'll probably come back to this game at some point. I won't even make a save. That way I can still maybe make different decisions. I don't know. I'm gonna go to bed. Bye.